Hey, welcome to my channel. Today's video is about visualizing. So imagining in order to manifest something into your life. How is the best way to do it? Is there a best way? Is there a right way? Is there a wrong way? And so let's just kick straight off with this. There is no wrong way to visualize particularly. As long as you can feel, that's all that matters. And by saying as long as you can feel, I mean as long as you can feel it as if you're there. I get a lot of people saying, but I've heard that I have to visualise in the first person. And all I can say on this is before I was into this, before I was into the law of attraction, before I knew anything about it, I was making a lot of stuff happen because I live in my head a lot. I really do. I always have done. But really vivid imagination. But I never once imagined in the first person. I always did it in the third person. But what I was doing is really being there as if it was happening. So even though I could see myself rather than be myself, if you know what I mean, I was still manifesting because I could still feel things. So if I was, for example, if in my imagination I was touching a table like this one here, then I would feel myself touching it, even though I was looking at myself rather than being me and looking through my eyes, if you know what I mean. But, and I had no problem, I just manifested constantly. And that's because it's all about the feeling. At the end of the day, I don't believe that the visuals have anything to do with it whatsoever. It's just something that we use in order to create the feeling, in order to manifest. And when we're doing it consciously, that's what we're doing. So the key is to feel it, to feel everything in your mind as you're imagining. So if you want a new car, for example, you would see the car first that you want, and you would know the car that you wanted in your mind. So if you wanted an Audi TT, then you would think to yourself, I want an Audi TT, I want a black one, or whatever you wanted. And then you would imagine walking over to the car, touching the car, feeling it on the outside. But you could see yourself doing it just as well as you could be doing it. That's been my experience. And because it's all about the feeling, you get in the car, you hold the steering wheel. Now don't worry if you don't know what the internal workings are of an Audi TT. If you don't know what it looks like inside, doesn't matter. Mainly if you can feel the steering wheel. If you want an automatic, then you wouldn't have, then you would have the automatic pedals and that sort of thing. Imagine all of that, but don't do it for too long, about 5 minutes or so. Drive it off your drive or up your road, out of your garage, wherever is local to you. Drive it in that vicinity in your head, but not for too long. And as long as it feels good, and then stop. It's really simple. And I don't believe that visualization should go on and on and on, unless you're just lost in one and you're not even trying to do it to manifest. And that does happen to me quite a lot. But you don't have to be first person. What I have found is that since I have gone into this over the last 5 years or so, I do tend to visualize in the first person sometimes, but just not all of the time. Sometimes I do, and I've never purposely tried to do that. It's just something that I've just started to do naturally, but again, I don't do it all of the time, and sometimes I still do it in the third person. Okay, so what if you can't see in pictures? Because some people can't. They cannot see clearly, or they can't see at all. It doesn't matter. Again, it's all about the feeling. You should be able to feel things in your mind. So just get the picture as best as you can. Or if you're going to get shadows, that's fine. It doesn't matter. It's not about how it looks. It's never about how it looks in your mind. It's about how it feels and how that feeling translates. That feeling that you get is vibration. So when I talk about vibration, I'm talking about feeling. It's the same thing. And I think sometimes people get confused and they think it's something a bit mystical, a vibration that you have to learn how to get. We get it all of the time. It's exactly the same thing. It's feeling. So the feeling that you're getting as you are visualizing is the vibration of that thing happening. And your subconscious, when there's a vibration, it thinks it's happening now. It doesn't know about the past. It doesn't know about the future. It only knows about now. So that's how we then go on to experience what we have imagined. And that's why in the past I have manifested some such crazy things that you think, how on earth did that happen? And sometimes within a couple of days of my imagination. And that's because, sorry, the cat's on the roof. That's because I imagine really vividly. I always have done. It's just something that I do, something I was born with. And I would have been told off at school for daydreaming because I daydreamed all of the time. But a lot of my daydreaming was done like that. Now, a daydream, what is a daydream? Can you manifest with a daydream? It depends if there's feeling with it. I mean, I've sat there and daydreamed about something and not really had that much feeling, and that's not going to manifest. Again, I told my story before about manifesting Andrew Lincoln. In that case, I was talking about seeing him at the studios where I work, a couple of days later I did. If you haven't seen that video, take a look at it. It was an accidental manifestation. And I saw him sat at the table that he was sat at when I got there. But I didn't feel that. I didn't feel him, because you can feel other people in your imagination as well. If somebody else is touching a table in your imagination, you should be able to feel that. You should be able to feel them doing it, which is a weird concept, isn't it? But try it, you can. And I didn't do anything like that, because it was literally a 2-minute conversation that I was having with my husband about, wouldn't it be great, because we get various different semi-famous people out there, but not hugely, nothing like that. If he was there, a couple of days later, he was there, sat at the exact same table. But in that case, I didn't have a very strong visual going on, but that's fine. It was in the feeling. It was in the feeling and the vibration of talking about him being there. And the thing is with me, like I've said before, because I have been doing this for a long time, impressed on my subconscious is the fact that when I have a strong feeling about something, or any vibration about something that I would like, it tends to happen. It does happen. I need to try it with much crazier stuff, don't I? That's the thing. I'm definitely going to do some experimenting. I've said that I am going to do some experimenting and see what else I can make happen, some crazy stuff. Anyway, so that's it in a nutshell, really. Visualization should not be a hard task that you have to implement in order to manifest. It should really be something that happens naturally without you thinking too much about it. So, you know, if you drift off into a visualization and you notice you're doing it, and you notice it's more of a daydream and you're not feeling anything, then just start feeling stuff. Just start feeling the things in your mind, anything. If you're in a room, for example, with someone, your specific person, for example, feel the things in that room, feel the sheets on the bed or whatever in that room. It just helps create that stronger momentum and that stronger vibration. And just, that's all a visualization is. It's an aid to get you what you want, an aid to get you a stronger feeling, get you more momentum, get you that manifestation. And I have found the stronger that feeling is, even if it only lasts a split second, that feeling, if it's a strong vibration, it happens really, really quick. With me, when I want something, I don't visualize that much anymore. I don't tend to do that. I more work on just getting the feeling, and then I just let it go. But sometimes when I'm about to get my manifestation, I've noticed this, I start having an overwhelming urge to visualize, and I can't stop, and it just might go on all day, on and off, and I'll be visualizing, and I'm not making it happen, it's just happening, and I get caught up with it, and I really enjoy it, and the next day that thing tends to manifest. I've really noticed that over the last year or so that happens. So if you have an overwhelming urge to visualize, definitely go with that. Don't fight against that if you're trying to cut back on your intending and your technique based stuff, especially for a specific person, because it generally means something's going on. Either, you know, you're starting to see that in your reality. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. That was a useful one. I'm on my way to the office now. Tried to shoot this yesterday, but the weather was horrendous and the light was rubbish. So if you don't know anything about me, then I'm an author, I'm a law of attraction coach, I'm a life coach, I write articles, and pop along to my website, eviesparks.co.uk, and have a little look about, more about me if you want to. And if not, then I would love it if you subscribed, if you find this content anyway useful.